What's up, bad investors and gacha gamblers? Hope you guys are doing well. If you are here, that means you needed a gacha accountant. Have no fear, your boy Mikey is here to give you some of the best tips and tricks that way you can stop wasting your summons on Zenless Zone Zero and get your favorite characters as well. So without wasting too much time, let's dive right into the video. Okay, so of course you want to pull any character that you want, right? Well, the first thing you're going to need is a game plan. Unfortunately, if you are a free-to-play gamer or a low spender, you're going to have to get rid of that mindset. Instead, what I want you to think about is what characters can I obtain that will be more beneficial to my account that I would not mind having at the same time. A character that can provide insane value to my account while not being an eyesore to look at is my ideal goal. That is how you should be thinking. Okay, so let's say you are saving up your polychrome for a character you want really badly, but the problem is you are getting summons at a very slow rate because you are caught up with the entire story. You completed all the events in order to obtain extra limited time summons. You already got the monthly shop limited time free summons. You got the daily login rewards, and you banged out your side quests and so on. Basically, you are in a polychrome drought, so you must plan ahead. You must ask yourself, am I gonna have to give up on this character? And believe me, I know it's hard because I've been in this situation before, so I know how it feels. You may have to give up on that character, which is unfortunate, but with the gacha game, you're going to see new drip marketing on a character that is coming out later on, and the cycle will repeat itself of you wanting a specific character. So you might as well summon for value as well as summon for characters you actually want. And with the way Zenless Zone Zero has been releasing some crazy, valuable, and aesthetic characters with very unique designs, there is no shortage of summonable agents. So you must resist the urge of pulling out that credit card and making a big mistake and breaking that free to play, or spending money on artificial stuff when you could be spending it on something else. Not that I'm judging about the way you spend your money, but you know. Also, when you do lose a 50-50, you should highly consider just taking the L and moving on. And for those of you gamers who do not know what a 50-50 is, in gacha games, when you are pulling on a limited character banner, Zenless Zone Zero for example, you have a total of 90 pulls to obtain a singular S-ranked character. Now, when you do see that S-ranked appear on one of the TV screens, you have a 50% chance of it being the limited banner character. So if for some reason you end up not getting the limited banner character that you are currently summoning for, that means you lost your 50-50. And basically what that means for the next time you summon on any limited banner character, their character on the limited banner will be guaranteed 100%. And although this may seem like it sucks if you have been in that position of losing a 50-50, I mean, if you are a veteran gacha gamer like myself, then you obviously have been. It is not the end of the world if you plan accordingly. Now, getting back to the topic on hand. Now, if you're in the shoes of a person who just lost a 50-50, do not stress out. You are still provided with a decent character. What you should do is you should consider building around the agent you summoned and save your guarantee for a future character. A character that you really want, or a character that can fit in your team composition really well, which we will get more into later on in this video. This goes along with what I was saying before. You must have a game plan. Whenever you are on a 50-50 that you make or break the character on the limited banner, you as a player should be thinking ahead. Now, if the character on the limited banner is an absolute must pull, you can grind out pity polychrome so you can obtain your guarantee. But just a reminder, it could take a maximum of 180 summons to actually obtain this character. That's if you are very unlucky. So maybe consider, is this even worth it? Another valid reason to continue on a limited banner you lost is if you lost an early pity. Now, this is when you obtain the S rank very early. I personally consider early pity to be about 1 to 30 summons. If you are in this boat, you can consider summoning for that limited character still, or you can cut ties and focus on saving your polychrome for a future character. That, of course, you can obtain no matter what. Another valid reason for continuing on a banner you lost a 50-50 on is your team composition. Do you absolutely need this character to maximize your team? Also, it is very important to remember that with any gacha game, especially a Hoyoverse gacha game like Zenless Zone Zero, I'm sure that in the future there will be reruns on characters. And for those of you who don't know, a rerun is basically when a character already got ran. For example, Bernice is on this current banner. Once this time is up, she will be re-released later down the future. So if you really want a character but you have to give up on them, just remember they will possibly come back. Well, that brings me to the next topic. The characters you decide to pick should always be able to work off each other. I know.
But I want to be able to play whoever I want to play.
And that is okay. However, if you want to maximize your account as a minimum spender or a free-to-play player, you are going to have to learn how to cut your losses. You can find a fine line between a character you love aesthetically and a character that is a powerhouse to help you with your gameplay. Now, why do you want a good team composition? Well, it's simple. That's the best thing you could do in Zenless Zone Zero. Shiyu Defense, which is a very grind-heavy end game mode, requires you to have 2 good teams of 3 characters each to complete the game mode within a set time period. So without diving too deep into the end game content within Zenless Zone Zero, you of course do not need many powerhouse characters to complete story mode and side missions within Zenless Zone Zero. However, for the endgame content mode, you are going to want these great teams. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the endgame content game modes are the best way to obtain free polychrome. In Shiyu defense per level you can clear with an S rank, you can obtain up to 300 free polychrome in the basic Shiyu defense. And in order to do this, you need some really good teams. Another very important thing that not a lot of players really do is focus on the A-ranked characters that are on the banners as well. And a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but hear me out. In some updates, we can take 1.1 for example. I personally summoned for Jane Doe. I mean, realistically, I'm pretty sure more than half the player base did. There's a big reasoning summoning in this banner was very useful for my account. So fortunately, I did win the 50-50 and obtain Jane Doe. But while doing that, I also got the newly released Seth from the banner as well, who just had came out in the second half of 1.2 just like Jane Doe. So I was able to summon Jane Doe and Seth, who were two brand new characters at the time and a part of the same faction, which is a very valuable addition to my account, getting two new characters for the price of one summoning session. Which brings me into the next topic. About 80% of the players make this bad decision, and that is forfeiting to your gambling addiction. You need to absolutely stop wasting your summons. Whenever you get just enough polychrome for a singular summon, you need to stop trying to pray to the gods of gacha that it is an S tier. I'm gonna be honest, I think the same rules apply even if you just obtain 10 pulls. Whenever you meet that just enough pulls scenario, stop praying to the gacha gods that it's an S tier. Instead, just save your polychrome and save your summons. Because I'm gonna be honest, most of you players are not gonna be lucky enough to do a single pull and get a S tier out of nowhere. And if you are one of those players, you, my friend, are just built different, and I ain't gonna argue with that. However, if you want to be more efficient actually obtaining more characters, hear me out. You should save up until you have 90 summons and can guarantee an S tier within those pulls. That way, when you are summoning for characters, you do not get that itchy feeling of not being able to pull an S tier during a summoning session. Also, for me personally, I felt staring at my account with a lot more summons than less makes me not want to waste them. It's kind of like saving money in that sense. This tip out of the whole video is probably going to be the hardest for you guys. And that's because mainly half of you guys are sitting there probably like, nah, I'd win. Which is understandable, but that means you're losing to your gambling addiction. When you have lots of more summons available at your disposal, then you'll always get a character that will fit right with your team. Always shoot for flexibility over desperation. Speaking of which, stop summoning unlimited time W engine banners. Now, when I say this, I don't mean exactly just altogether stop wishing on them. I mean, the reason why you're here is because you want to summon from more characters, right? Well, you gotta cut something out. If we take a look at my account, the only W engine paired with the character I got is Jane Doe. And I'm only talking about limited banner wise. That is also because I got super lucky and did a random 10 summon on her limited banner after somehow getting her early pity. And that's how I was able to obtain her W engine. But if you take a look at the rest of my characters, they do not have a W engine paired to them. Now, the reason being is because I personally believe having more units on your account is way more beneficial than a W engine. And it's also because you cosmetically can't see them when you are in the middle of combat. Sure, you may get a special type of glow, but it ain't even all that special. Also, do not attack me for my opinion on this. You can honestly disagree with me if you like. At the end of the day, it's a matter of cosmetic is what I'm currently talking about. Now, I know you guys are thinking about, wait, what about the beneficial stats that come with the W engine to enhance my character's abilities? Now, sure, there are some W engines that have amazing passives and dominating stats, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how crucial it is to have a good team comp character so that way you can clear the end game easier. Having a better team is way more important than having a singular W engine to boost one character's stats. Also, at the beginning of the video, I talked about planning ahead, right? Well, when I went for my first limited banner character on Zenless Zone Zero, this character happened to be my J-Yuan, and she is a beast of a unit. When I first started playing this game, I ended up actually summoning a S-ranked engine called the Brimstone. At the time, I ended up having no use for it up until the banner of J-Yuan came out. That is when I made a game plan of getting her and not getting her W engine, because the Brimstone was her second best option. This is an example of what I mean by W engines are realistically not worth as much as you think they are. So something you gotta tell yourself is, W engines are good, but are they worth skipping that character that I currently want? Now, for the final tip I have, stop using the excuse of I'm building pity. I've gotten many comments in my videos talking about I didn't even want this character, I pulled them by accident. Well, that's kind of your fault. Stop this I am building pity for the next character coming out thing. It is not worth building pity, and this ties into the section of the video of what I meant by stop getting trigger happy and summoning on banners when you need to be saving your pulls. I honestly would never personally understand building pity on a banner when you know that it can get reset by somehow pulling the S rank character by, in your words, mistake. I only see one reason you should be summoning on a banner that you particularly do not want the S rank character, and that is if you are going for the A rank character. But then at that point, you should consider just not summoning on that banner at all. Building pity is just a false excuse of of saying, I cannot wait to save my polychrome, so I'm gonna fall victim of my gambling addiction and summon on this banner. Stop doing this or face the consequences of getting a character you did not particularly want. Well, that is all I have for today, guys. If you did enjoy the video, smash that subscribe button down below so you can find your way back to my channel. Make sure you leave me a like and comment your thoughts on the video. I am always looking forward to hearing your opinions. And lastly, join the community Discord pinned in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.